It's time I said something about the last Ren Fair I went to. Because blog. No, blog. Uh, Now, this Ren Fair, I was invited to go to this Ren Fair. I did not ask to go, which I normally, apply to do things. And I was invited. Please come play the ukulele, is a direct quote. And I was actually invited to be the city CD vendor to start with, but it was too short notice for me to be able to do that. And stock was here and stock was there because I'm in influx because of the death of my parents and everything. And I had told them, look, all I can offer is to play the ukulele badly. At this point, I feel like I should mention that I am just an apprentice. I don't have a lot of knowledge up here. I've been self-teaching myself to catch up music from all the years that were wasted. And a youth that was stilted. And so, I have had a stage presence in many things. I've even performed on stage with concerts in church. So it's not like I haven't done these things, but overall I'm just an apprentice. And so this means I'm prone to do stupid things like, off the top of my head, not have humidifiers for my luggage to protect my instruments. And yeah, but I told her, but I looked at the event for like the third or fourth time when she's like, quote, please come play the ukulele. And I'm like, all right, I'll help out. We did not negotiate pay. I rearranged my schedule because I had to come back up north anyway because doctor's appointments and to take care of my house. And headed up. It turned out to be about a 12 to 13 hour drive. South Carolina swallowed me up and refused to spit me out. It was a nightmare. Freaking Google Maps trying to force me to do roads I didn't want to do. It's like, we're going to punish you by making you go through every city. Yeah, I'm not stupid, Google. I had misgivings the whole time. Like, before I even left, I was like, maybe I should not go. Maybe I should not go. Maybe I should not go. My husband's like, you already promised. And he was right. So as far as that goes, but, I probably should have said, look, I can't do it because you're too far away. I really should have. And I get up there, and I had told them that I didn't need a cabin. I didn't need anything like that. I didn't have tents or anything because we're still recovering from how everything was destroyed at Viking Fest. And that, but I could sleep in my SUV. And I didn't know what to expect. But on the way up, my husband had looked and noticed there was a stage, and I was the only performer announced on the event's thing. And so I got anxious on the way up. Oh my goodness, am I going to be expected to perform on stage? Again, not something I'm unfamiliar with, but it was a wow moment. Really? Really? We didn't discuss that. Okay. So I get up there, and it's oh, you're the ukulele lady. Oh, how wonderful you're here. All right, well, just park over there. So I go to park, and then this other lady stops me. Oh, you're the ukulele lady. Isn't that nice? Well, you're going to park where the entertainers are parking. I'm the only entertainer because everybody had quit this poor woman's fair, which to go to better grounds, which business is business. But they had already obligated themselves at this particular venue. And yes, it was their first year, so they probably might have gotten like 5 people, but still, you knew that when you signed up for it. And so they parked me in the hottest, boggiest, because it had rained and been raining, part of the field. Like, luckily, it was like right there, right by where everything was at, like, so I wouldn't have to go far, but it was the hottest part. And my SUV, whose name is Bethany, by the way, Bethany got stuck in the mud just parking. Like, I had trouble parking. So my misgivings ramped up really high. And all right, so and another red flag was that when I got there, I had told them, all right, when do you need, I had asked, when do you need me? They said, well, it's going to start on Thursday. I said, all right, I will arrange to come on Thursday. I get there on Thursday as promised. As a matter of fact, I had arrived early, didn't know I could arrive at the camp early because this was not communicated to me, and had slept overnight in a rest stop waiting for things to open even. And it was, oh, we thought you weren't arriving until Friday. And that's a red flag to me, that you don't know what your vendors and entertainers are doing, especially if they're your only announced entertainer. So, all right. And then I'm told, we just want you to walk around with your ukulele, maybe entertain the vendors and play some music. Just walk around. I had driven 13 hours, I slept overnight at a rest stop, and exhausted myself and made my dog sick because he came up with me part way to walk around the fair. Now, all right, background color. I'm like, all right, taking this straight. We didn't really discuss what I was going to do. Okay, I'm okay with this. And there's this stage there. And day one, I, by the way, did have hydration, but apparently I wasn't drinking it enough because day one I got heat exhaustion and people had to intervene. They took me to their air-conditioned camper, and they were really lovely people. I mean, really good people to meet, and you know, it was interesting. And my instruments were stored out there, which was great. But by that point, I already had a crack starting in my ukulele, my Sneaky ukulele. His name is Sneaky, and so I was over, and I was told, well, it looks like the veneer is separating. Okay, so I get there, and I was already dubious about him, and this was my inexperience. I did not count on getting parked in the hottest part of the field. I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't that. I have been to a lot of powwows and stuff, and camped out and a lot of stuff, and never, ever, ever got stuck in that kind of a bad area ever. So Thursday passes, I practice Thursday night, people are like, oh my god, I love your playing, yada, 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 yada. And it was like a push. You need to get you on stage, we need to get you on stage, and get you on stage. Well, I didn't know what the renn faire person wanted, and it was like, it isn't that I'm against going on stage, because I really wasn't. I kind of liked the idea, to the point that of the repertoire of the few songs I can play comfortably, I had went through and created a stage set that I was not playing and practicing, so that if I did go on stage, it would be songs that nobody had heard at the fair. So I was prepared, but had made it clear that I didn't want to step on toes, and I just didn't know what the renn faire lady wanted. And it was like, yeah, well, all right. And so that one of the guys who was helping with the fair had said, yeah, he made sure he had executive powers to put me on stage, said sure. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going on stage. So I practiced a little bit, and I warmed up, and there's no one there, and you know, this is Friday now, there's no one there, and it's hot, it's muggy, but I'm practicing, I'm staying in the shade, I'm making sure I've got hydration, I'm doing a lot better. My skirt had a dysfunction, so I'm not getting to dress up completely like I had planned. It just one comedy of errors after another. Not the fair's fault. Not the fair's fault. A couple of people started coming, okay. And then I was doing my thing where I'm supposed to be walking around with my ukulele like I said I'd do. And I stop at the one vendor. Her and I had clicked together, friendly, not like a click. And to talk to her and pick on her some more, because she sells little clay dragons, and they're just the cutest little things. And it's like, you know, and it was great to have someone to talk to, because, you know, I make polymer clay sculptures. And so, you know, I'm going over there, I'm making up stories about her dragons, you know, and the people in the booth next door is like, don't you know not to talk to the bards? You know, it was a lot of fun. And I went to play a song, and I realized that my ukulele didn't have just the one veneer separation, it had actual cracks in it. So luckily I'd brought some wood glue to try to stop the veneer, so I go and I try to glue it together. and then through the course of the day, and then another crack started, and this crack went all the way up past the sewn hole and went past. It's a really tiny hairline crack. And it was, I'm pretty sure, because of the weather, because of a lot of things. I had oiled my instruments, and I guess that wasn't enough. And then, it's getting dark, it's cooling off, the stage is no longer too hot to stand on. I could have performed at any point in time at that point to people besides one person at a time, or wandering around to a crowd of no one, really. And the guy handling the music, who was really resistant to playing Renaissance fair music. He wanted to play more modern stuff, which I'm down with, but this was not a Celtic fling. This was supposed to be a Renaissance fair. He started taking requests from the vendors of what songs to play next. And I was already tottering on leaving. I was told that another bard was arriving on Friday, and this was going to be a full-fledged bard who knew what they were doing. Oh, good, because I liked that idea. And I had joked and said, oh, if they come, that means I'll leave early, right? And that was on Thursday night. And, the people were wonderful. And it's not on the fair that my instruments were cracking. It's on me. But when they started taking requests, and I realized that my function was really literally nothing, and I was doing literally nothing for free, and furthermore, my instrument was dying for nothing, I realized that I should have listened to myself all along, and I said I had to go. It's not completely on the renn faire. Some of it, give and understand, yes, but like the treatment of my instruments, that's on me. So I learned a firm lesson from this, and that is, one, if I am coming to help you at a venue, but your venue is 12 hours from where I'm at. I mean, it was only about 4 or 5 hours from my house in Illinois, and then when she invited me, she wouldn't have known that I'm also spending time in Florida. She wouldn't have known that, so I can't blame her for that. That's on me too. But if something like that comes up, or somebody needs my help again like that, but you're a certain distance away, the answer is going to remain a firm no. And it's not completely because of you, so much as I don't want to end up driving and spending money I don't necessarily have, which is what happened, for free, to get stuck in a hot field and have something of mine die. I can't afford it, and it's heartbreaking, and I'm really attached to my instrument. Now I don't know what to do because I can't afford a luthier. I can't get a new faceplate put on it. And this damage is forever until, I don't know, I win the lottery or something. And so the answer is a no. Furthermore, I've been getting jerked around by a lot of directors and people, quote-unquote, producing films, and it's, oh, we're going to let you in. We've definitely got a role for you. We've definitely got this. We've definitely got that. And then I hear nothing, but in the meantime, what are they getting from me? They're getting me posting to you guys and sharing the project to you guys and promoting to you guys for an empty promise of a role or some part in the team, and then it never happens. And I have decided and realized that's going to stop until I get a contract in my hot little hand and I have signed it and I get dates and I get a freaking script and I get things to memorize. No, you're not getting this from me anymore. I want to support the independent arts very much, mind you, but I am sick and tired of getting taken advantage of by people. And the death of my instrument was definitely the straw on the camel's back. I have been putting up with getting shafted and pushed around for years, knowing, by the way, that this is what was happening because I wanted to be supportive. But I feel like if you're the kind of dishonest person that's going to hand somebody a placation in order to get something right away in your pocket, and with no intention of ever fulfilling that placation most of the time, then you're not the kind of person that I want to support, because that's a certain level of selfish dishonesty, and it's not something I can support. I just can't. It's just move to Hollywood if you want to be like that, because you definitely belong in that environment. So there are a lot of lines that I am going to draw now, because I'm sick and tired of getting pushed around by people and put down by people and hurt by the slander and libel of some people. You know who you are, when I am really a generous, nice creature, and don't deserve to get kicked like this. So my generosity is going to get capped now, a lot, because there are wisdom borders that we all should take, and I have been pushing my wisdom borders firmer and firmer over the years. But this is I'm going to build the wall. Period. I'm going to build the wall. This whole open borders thing. Mm-mm. Nope. Open borders are for chumps. So that was my last Ren Fair, and it's actually not a good thing to leave a Ren Fair early. It's not. It's actually bad on you. But I went through it in my head, and my instrument was dying, guys. It's in a case over there, and I don't know what to do. And I'm still paying on the instrument, by the way. I got it on credit. And now, as many ukulele players, I'm trying to collect one of every kind, your ukulele collection. So I do want to buy another look-alike ukulele that's a tenor, and I'm happy to say that I've managed to get my credit up enough that I could do it if I have 100 down. So if you want to donate $100 down so I can replace my ukulele with another look-alike ukulele, because it was bought specifically to play at Ren fairs and stuff, I'll put my my donation email, which, by the way, doesn't respond to anyone in the description. Yeah, no one's going to donate. I'm not dumb. But another thing that I have been wanting to get not a big RV like people drive these multi-million-dollar deals. What the heck, people? If you're going camping, just, if you have to camp with that, stay home. But a tiny one, like a little itty bitty thing. I have been wanting to get that, needing to get that. I now realize it's a necessity for the sake of my equipment. So these are the lessons I learned from the last Ren Fair I went to. Like I said, barred in training. I'm learning, and sometimes experience will knock you harder than any teacher ever hoped to. And I did originally start this as an Instagram post feed, but Instagram doesn't do enough, so I'll just link it on Instagram, I guess. Considering I'm stuck at my house with no internet. This is a challenge.